heated when we actually started recording. Because that was probably one of the most wild things I had ever seen. Speaking of ever seen, boy, that background looks fantassimo.
That game, but security,
Yeah.
security, 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 security. All right, what's up, people? We back. What's up with y'all, man?
Look like we back, man.
Yeah,
We back
yeah,
in here,
yeah.
man.
Back like we did leave. Because we did.
Yeah, fly simple.
I'm awesome.
And it's your boy Mike
Chill. Yeah, first things first, man, what you sipping on?
with the resident, the ultra whimsical and wonderful Wade Winston Wilson. Gotta go ahead, do a little celebratory shot. This is Evan Williams right here.
Mhm.
Gotta do a celebratory shot. I'll touch on it later on why I'm doing celebratory shot. But I decided to go a little bit more simple today, just doing that Modelo right there. For those that like your light lagers, Modelo is the way to go. Very easy sipper. Pilsner style, so think of something more like a Michelob Ultra or like a Bud Light, something like that. So going light, simple, nothing complicated yet. When the season change though, y'all stay tuned. I got some crazy stuff for you. But I done talked too much about what I'm sipping on, man. What you over there sipping
Tequila.
on? Tech Willow?
Yep, tequila and 3 bottles of water. Yeah,
Just
yeah.
don't do that mix that you did last time because you was like, oh, that's a bad idea.
Well, I don't know what I mixed. It was something. It was nasty as hell. I was like, this is for the addict, yo. Like, I can't do this. So yeah, man.
I'm about to say, yeah, man. I know you had some travels, man. What should we touch on first? There's a
I
decent amount of news to go around.
let's see. First things first, obey your thirst. All right. Yep. I was in Italy. Shout out to the Italian folks. Shout out to my main man, Claudio, man. Um, me and my mom and sister, we went over we flew into Milan, hung out there for a day, and then we where did we go? Went to Turin, Italy. It was funny. I've been kind of practicing Italian for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? A little bit, little bit, little bit.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit, a little bit. So it's funny because Milan is it's an international city, one of the fashion capitals of the world. So they get a lot of American tourists, and
Hmm.
it was funny because when we got to the restaurant, we was eating whatever, and my mom would just ask for stuff in English before I can like, hey, how are you, whatever, right? Uh,
Yeah.
and so a lot of people just assume, oh, and then we look American, so they assume that they have to speak English, right? So I went to this
Hmm.
spot called Replay. Food was fantastic, yo. It was like some pasta with artichoke and shrimp. That was dope. The pizza was dope. I think I had Letto de Manzo. That
Hmm.
yeah, man, that but yeah, man.
Chef's kiss.
Yeah, man. It was stupid, yo. I said, dang. So so this is in Milan. When mom tried to ask, where's the bathroom, where's the check, right? He said, excuse me. And I said, oh. So I just basically asked for the bathroom and I like to check in Italian. And then the guy was like, nigga, I've been talking to y'all in English the whole time. And I mean, yeah. Yeah, he was like, huh? So then we went to Turin where, yeah, like when you are in Milan, you will see English, you see Italian in big letters, English in small letters, because you a lot of tourists. Ain't
Hmm.
ain't no English, bro. Ain't no English, bro. I was saying Paul Inglese too many times, yo. You know,
This
um,
ain't no English, bro.
yeah, I ain't no English, bro. Hey, you on your own, fam.
Shout out to Jamal the creative. He was poking fun at trying to talking about the dating scene now. He was like, ain't no English, bro. It made me think of him in one of his skits. He was like, I can't date in Atlanta no more. I can't date in Atlanta no more.
Hey, yeah, real talk, man. Hey, man, yo, y'all folks over like 30 that haven't found your person, good luck.
Good luck.
Oof, glad I got mine. These motherfuckers crazy.
Glad I got mine too.
These people are
For those who
nuts
don't know,
out here, yo.
certified taker.
But yeah, man. So like whenever we got there, like, yeah. I was basically asking people, "Hey, do you speak English?" In Italian. Some of them were like, "No." So my sister called like for reservations, and he's the guy who they probably in English. He said, no, yo, we were struggling." I said, "Hey, man, yo, prenotazione." Okay. But um, just the trip was dope. Yeah, Turin's a dope city. I would say there's no
Mhm,
little bit of Italian before you go, but I like it better than Milan, even though I was in Milan for one day. I was in Rome for
mhm,
like 2 or 3. I like Turin a lot better. I think it's because one is Americans don't go there.
mhm.
And I felt like if you try to speak Italian, they're like, "Oh, yeah, no, no, no. Whatever y'all want, man. Y'all cool as hell." I was like, so went to this spot. Well, we asked the person at the front desk, like, "Yo, so where should we go after the game? Because the game was at night, right?" So
Yeah.
before I get there, the game was dope, super loud. Juventus won 1-0. Yildiz scored. This is the first game after we got a brand new coach. It was dope. Um, I can go on and on all day, which we don't have
Yeah.
all day, but we
I
still
mean,
got
we
the
got
team
all of whatever day this is.
pretty much. So I still got a pack. Um, but so we stay at the team hotel, right? So it's the team. You know what? It might be better if I show you real quick. We stay at the team hotel, right? And it's the best place to stay if you're going to a
Mhm,
game. We pull up there, right? No, so we took the train from Milan, took the taxi to the hotel. Now the hotel, man, we pulled up. The team stays at the hotel the night before.
mhm.
They stay on the other side of the hotel. One of the hallways is blocked off. That's where they have like their little, meetings and stuff like that before the game. You pull up, the team bus is in the front. Crazy.
Right.
Um, you walk in, check-in desk, 3 signed jerseys up there. There's like there's other memorabilia throughout history for like Juventus, right? So you check in,
Mhm.
whatever, go to your room. There's pictures in your room. Some of them may be art, other ones may be player faces. Like my mom had Trezeguet's face, his painting in there. That's dope. So you can either take a shuttle there that goes to the gate, I mean goes to gate B, um, where if you stay at the hotel during game weekend, you are guaranteed to have a ticket to buy. Meaning, so you have to request it. Once the request comes through and you actually book it, it's not refundable, but if like something happens, you can probably do something. But
Yeah.
it's not refundable. But if the game is sold out, there will be a ticket for you to sit east side of the stadium, lower level.
Yeah.
So you can buy. So it's never
It's
sold out for you.
guaranteed you'll be there even if there is a sellout.
Yes, because they reserve tickets for you.
Yeah.
So there's also a shuttle for people because if you stay there, you get like a wristband that says, "Hey, I'm at this hotel," because that hotel is packed. You have to get a reservation for the restaurant in the hotel because everybody comes there after the yeah, it's crazy. So you can either get a shuttle there that takes you right to gate D, or you can walk 15 minutes. It's the whole area is all Juventus stuff. So You walk in, right? So you go to the stadium, right? Now, mind you, security, 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 right? Your ticket must have your name on it. So if I get a ticket for me and get a ticket for you, your ticket needs to have your name on it. But when you go to the
Right.
front
You
gate,
say Mike, not through
yes.
all. Yeah.
So they're like, oh, ticket, cool. ID, it matches, scan. You pass first checkpoint, right? Of
Mhm.
your gate. Cool. Now you go through the metal detector and all this stuff. Go through there. All right, cool. Oh, you want lower level, upper level? Oh, we are section 113. Boom, to the left. Bam. Another security gate, which is like a little weaving thing, whatever. You scan
Yeah.
your ticket, go through a gate, scan it again, boop, boop, opens up. Now you're good to go. But you have to go through all those security measures before you can get there.
Mhm.
There's so much security, they allow people to bring in backpacks because they're searching all of it.
It's one of those. You can bring it, but
Hey, my mom and sister had a bag about this big. Went all through. That's it. Then again, it's also soccer. People do be getting stabbed. So,
mhm.
I've had
And I
people say
mean,
that
good security comes at a premium. So,
yes, but that joint flow. We got some food and shout out, oh gosh, okay, the pizza in Italy, top notch, right? Top notch. I'm talking about street pizza, pizza at the game.
mhm.
Three pizzas, three waters. How much do you think that would cost at that stadium?
So obviously you were speaking internationally,
Euro.
and my brain is gonna think over here. So
Mm.
I'm just gonna yell out a price over here, as well as factor in food truck type price. So three pizzas, three bottled waters, basically like 20.
So they don't have the bottled water. They just give you a cup and put the water in it because you ain't taking it out. I mean, because you ain't
Okay.
taking this bottle,
That's
bro.
gonna cheapen it. That's gonna cheapen it even more. But even still, thinking of food truck price. Uh three pieces, three waters. Let me go with a smooth 35
It was
US
28.
dollars.
It was 28 euros.
I'm, I actually might still be somewhat in the ballpark because
You might be.
I know euro to US dollar is a higher exchange rate. I might still be somewhere in the same ballpark.
Yep, that's about right. Because you got to think about it. So let's say if you go to the Spectrum Center, right? You get three
Mhm.
pizzas and three waters. You probably paying, I don't know, 50,
Yeah, right.
60. And that
Mhm.
pizza was so damn good. I was like, this can't be real.
Yeah, I was about to say the difference being you're paying that price and it's probably a better
Quality.
fee than what we're getting here. Yeah.
Yo, like I was sitting there, I was like, man, I'll be paying for Papa John. And this should come from the stadium. Nah, man. Yo, what we doing, man? What we doing? Also, for the
America's
Kings.
trying to cut corners, but go ahead.
So I got like a brand new scarf there, whatever. So it has all the logos from the years from when it started all the way to
Mhm.
now, and it has the song lyric of the theme song at the bottom. We got the receipts, right? You see my mouse right here? No, you probably don't. So you see my finger, right? Nope. This no, yeah, okay. You see how the seat is?
Mhm.
It looks thin and cheap, right?
Yeah.
Most comfortable seats I've ever sat in my life. I don't know how they made these, yo.
Technology.
I was like, nah, like they're so thin, but they feel so comfortable. It's almost as like they're like, you know what we can do? We can make seats better using our technology.
Mhm.
And they did it.
They look thin. We're just
They,
saving on material, but we can make them comfortable.
bro, I was like, there's no cushion either. I was like, how is this? And it's like it sits you like low, but not too
Mhm.
low. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
okay, yo, here we go. I'm
Almost like
thinking
a
about that
movie
now.
theater seat before they started doing like the recliners and stuff.
Yeah, but it's like it was like so you sitting down and it feels like you're stretching out. Like it feels like your hamstrings and lower back just like it's just fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, this don't make no sense. Because I was like, okay, this then these seats look uncomfortable. Here we go, Mike. You see these seats, man?
Yeah.
They don't look like they should do anything, right?
Hmm.
These, I was like, yo, my mom fell asleep, yo. Before the game, she like went to sleep. I was like, yo, these are dope. Also, you see this, like, everybody has room. Nobody's touching anybody.
Yeah.
So you mean to tell me we got these uncomfortable seats and we're kind of squeezed in? Nobody is
Uncomfortable
squeezed
looking
in.
seat.
Huh?
I said uncomfortable looking seats.
Yes, this one, everybody has space. I was like, I'm not touching my mom or nothing. My leg is not in the aisle. Everybody has room. Everybody's in the
Mhm.
seat. Everybody get into the stadium fine. You get to your seat. You're not touching nobody. Everybody's cool. Everybody's just chilling. I was like, yo, we got some shit to do, America. We out here tripping.
We got plenty to do,
We
America.
out here tripping. Tripping. Um, Matter of fact, I'm gonna show you one more thing about her too. You know, I said like my mom was asleep.
Hmm. You better not post anything of her being asleep.
I
Okay.
would. Sure I am. It's only gonna be 2 seconds. So y'all must better screenshot it. You ready?
Yeah.
Knocked out, yo.
So
So yeah, man. Like the
also
seat,
shout
it
shout
was
out
no
mom, shout out Aspen.
shout out. But yeah, that was like that's how comfortable the seats were, yo. It didn't feel like it felt weird, man. I was like, this man, everybody had their own space, yo. Oh,
Yeah.
it's even better picture. Let's put this up here. Like before the game. So yeah, man. Um, leaving the stadium, there's food trucks everywhere. But we went back to yeah, it was yeah, man. But
That is my vibe. You said food, tag the big bag.
yeah, there's food trucks everywhere, yo. But now, no, there's only we walked back, got back to the hotel in like 10 minutes, like 15 minutes. Man, the cool thing
Right.
is, after the game, the bus leave out, goes back to the stadium. I mean, goes back to the hotel, and players leave, right? So
Hmm.
we're just sitting there chilling, waiting for players to leave because the hotel is connected to the practice field, like that whole area, hotel, practice field, social media department, which they have their own building. The headquarters is there.
Hmm.
Museum, team store, area 12 is like a shopping center. And then the stadium is all connected. That whole area is Juventus, everything. So we saw a couple players just drive out their car, skirt, they stop, wave a little bit, take some pictures, and keep it moving. I was like, this is dope as hell. So we left from there. Person at the front desk was like, yo, you can check with the restaurant to see if they have food. I was like, all right, hey, Parlay and Glazy? No. All right. I basically asked, do you have any reservations? And she was like, no. Okay. So the person in the front desk was like, yo, you should go to this spot. Translation is pizza and delicacies. Um, it's not too far away, but make sure I'll call them because it gets crazy on match day. Called them up,
Hmm.
went there, got there, and we just sat there chilling. And I was like, oh, this shit's all in Italian. Oh shit. Okay. I ain't I ain't get this level yet. You know what I'm saying? Thanks. But so we were sitting there just eating whatever and chilling. In the waiter came over and he's like he knew like more English than anybody else in there. But
Hmm.
he was still trying to learn. So it was funny because he was trying to learn more English and I was trying to learn more Italian. So we was going back and forth. Um and his name was Claudio. Real cool dude. So yeah, I mean man, we got a shot too. Got some wine. Um And it's funny because somebody else came to the table like, yeah, it's like, where you guys from? Oh, you're in North Carolina. Oh, North Carolina. So you came, so like, what brings you to Turin? 'Cause, you know, why the fuck y'all niggas here?
Right.
Y'all American and y'all black. Why you here? I said, so y'all came for the game because you still had our stuff on. I was like, yeah, y'all
He
came
said,
all the
"What?"
way for Juventus. So yes, we did. And I said, here's a picture of me and Del Piero. He was like, when was this today? Like, nah, man, this was in January. Oh, Del Piero. I was like, yeah, Del Piero.
Mhm.
The GOAT. He's like, oh. So we went back there the next night, right? Um, like we weren't trying to the same place twice, but we went back there the second night. I actually went to the third night. But went to the second night
Mhm.
and just try something else. Just, all right, what else can we get put onto, right? And then while we were talking to him, he was like, "All right, cool. So this is what you want to do." I was like, "Yo, I want something like I want some meat, whatever, but not like what I had before." Okay, you should get the sushi. I was like, "The hell's that?" It's Florentina del Sushi, which is like it's like a big cut of meat, and he's like, "Yo, you either got to get it in kilos." I was like no, in grams. Like, okay, like what do you mean? You either have to be so you either have to order 700 grams or more. So my sister
Mhm.
split it, and it's like 1,000 kilogram, and it's just big ass cut of meat on a big bone. They kind of slice it up like they sear it, but you cook it the way you want to cook it. They bring out like a little hot plate, whatever, and like roasted potatoes, yo.
Mhm.
Oh, yo, with some red wine.
So it was
How?
like it was like the Italian version of Iron Dish, where
Yeah,
they're gonna bring stuff out and you cook it how you want it.
yeah, but it was a cut of meat that's theirs. And they're
Yeah.
like, okay, so you know what? Since like y'all ordered this and y'all came back, we got this Northern Italian, um, because like traditional food, whatever. It's on us. We're gonna make it from scratch.
Hmm.
So that was like so. So anytime like so we went back there like the next night too. But each time we went there, like we got more and more traditional Northern Italian stuff and history
Yeah.
about things. So it was pretty dope. And it was also dope having an appetizer for a pizza. I mean, a pizza for appetizer. But yeah, third night, man, my mom got some fish. They came out like the whole fish, the head. My man said he took a spoon and a fork, took the head away, got the little bone out. I said, this motherfucker damn surgeon. Went back there,
Like
took us some olive
imagine
oil, put some damn salt.
how often I be doing that in order to just do it that clean. Too.
My bad. I said it again.
I was saying, imagine how often he would have to do that clean. Too.
Yeah, my man said I'll be right back. Boy, he got that damn salt, that Himalayan salt,
Mm-hmm.
the olive oil. My sister was like, yo, this it tastes so fresh. It's so it's so light, but it's filling. I was like, yeah, yo, this yeah. Yeah, so it's every time they're like, oh, yo, before y'all leave, you gotta take a shot. So we took a shot every time we got there and we left, man. We got some wine. Yeah, it was funny because it was like the last thing that a guy was like, he said, "Yo, man, he said, I'm sorry, no, my English is not that good." I was like, "Oh, that's okay, man. Mio Italiano, man, coozy coozy." He said, "Ah, coozy coozy." I was like, okay, hey, look at us. All right." So yeah, but yeah, man, if y'all ever go out, do it, man. Find a sport or something, and then go to that foreign country. Cause
Just know Italy has always been on my bucket list.
which one?
There are three countries on my bucket list. It's Italy, Spain, and Japan.
You can do it in Spain, the same trip. Catch that train,
Yeah.
like those
But yeah,
regional flights.
I've always told Beth that it's like the three on my bucket list, Italy, Spain, and everything else is icing on the cake.
Yeah, I want to go back. at least once every 3 years for a game.
Hmm, gotcha. Well, I mean, if you do go back, you will be a married man.
Hmm. Sure would. I was like, hey, I'm not gonna think fluid of talent with these. What's up with you? Yeah, fluid. What'd you want?
I like all of that with one word.
Hey,
People will die on you. What you
no, no,
want?
Show Leo, show Leo. Oh, yeah.
Why did it also remind me of what's the term? It ain't even. What? Comes in one word. It ain't even mine.
Hold up. Is it me
What
or
is?
is it you?
Uh
Hold up. Wait. You are roboting. Is that me or you?
oh. Uh-oh. Hold on. Let me keep talking.
Okay, nope. Now it sounds better. All right.
Uh, I was gonna say, I was like, what is the term? It ain't eaten. What is the what? It ain't even mine. But I'm about to say, what should we hop on first?
We can,
Or second? I'll go ahead and count. I'm not going to discount your travel, my good sir.
oh no. No, I would say, yo, y'all ever get a chance to go to a game somewhere overseas? Go. Especially soccer, and then come back over here and be like, yeah, we need to fix something. Yeah, some gotta change, y'all. Cause it was so much fun. It was so loud. And it was only 41,000 people in the stadium. So it only says 41,000. But yeah, crazy dope. I think the Browns are playing the Dolphins in Madrid. That'll be a nice place to go to. I think that stadium holds like 90 something thousand.
Wait, Brown playing who?
I think it's the Brown. No, it's the Bengals playing the Dolphins, I believe. There's
Mm.
rumors that they're going to be in Madrid.
Speaking of Bengals, I got news on them too.
Yeah. But yeah, what we gonna jump into? I don't know, man. What you feeling first, man? College basketball?
Which one? Do you want to do college or uh NBA?
We can do college first.
Hey man, so first off, congrats to anyone whose team is still alive and they've made it to the Final Four out in San Antonio, Texas. Um, decent games once basically they got to the Elite Eight. It was a couple games of Sweet 16 I was not a fan of. But the Elite Eight actually definitely had some really, really good games. What I mean by that is that essentially before the Elite Eight, there was not a handful of games where the game was close. If that makes sense. I'll go back and look throughout the bracket and see. There were a lot of games where the winning team won by at least double digits, if not more. I believe who was it? Duke that beat Mount St. Mary's and they won by like 40. Um, so there's a lot of games like that. It's like, oh, okay, let's get blah, blah, blah. They made some really, really good games. Um,
Ooh, hold up. I don't know what's going on. Is that you talking?
oh.
Okay, now okay, so now it's fine.
Um, well, I'll keep my handy. Maybe the frame rate's messing with things. But there were a couple of key stats that I'll point out. For one, there were 5 games in the between Sweet 16 and Elite Eight. There were 5 games where a team gave up a double digit lead, and then all of a sudden made it. And looking stat wise between those games, I'd love to ask you, what is up with free throw percentage in college?
They don't practice that shit. That's it. I mean, and like think about it, man. Like it's hard to tell a star athlete, maybe the star loosely, but star as in on the main guy on the team who has NIL money that's more than a coach that you need to practice your free throws when I make all the points on the game. You can't coach these people no more, probably. Like what's the basics? Layups, rebounding, free throws.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the things that you can do
And
with the
and
ball.
actually at this point, going ahead and throw 3-point shooting in there because there was a bunch of teams that tried to just throw up a lot of shots from
Well,
three.
I'm not even gonna throw that in because the NBA made it look like 3-point shots are easy.
Mm-hmm.
These are the best of the best of the best of the best in the
True.
3-point shooting era where you're going to be shooting threes.
Mm-hmm.
There's only 32 teams in the NBA.
30.
30. Wait, who has NFL has 32?
NFL has 32. Correct.
Yep, got get this. So there's 30 teams in the NBA. Everybody on the NBA was the dominant person in college.
Mm-hmm.
And there's 9 dominant people in college jacking up threes. So everybody wants to be the NBA right now. You can't because you got to be a superhero to do it. So yeah, I'm talking about people. I'm
Since
talking
you
about
bring
people
up that point,
like Fred Van Fleet. Those people are
mhm.
hitting knocking down threes every single night, and people want to act like they better than Steph. You see what I'm
Since you
saying?
bring up that point, I'd also like to put it into more of a percentage wise. Gilbert Arenas said it best. When you think about the number of colleges that have a college basketball team, which by the way, it's 326 right now. And 326 just division teams. We're not even talking about Division Two or JUCO or anything. Just Division One. It's 326 colleges. Uh, let's say each of those teams has a 20-player roster. So that's like easily over that we are putting into this pool right now. Easily five. I can't imagine. So that's easily over 5,000 that you're putting into this overall pool. Of those, let's just say, actually, I'm not even going to take it down there yet. Of those, 5,000 players, you just said
Hold
they're
on, hold
all
on, hold on, hold
only
on, hold
30.
on. Wait, it's robot again. Bad.
Oh,
You talking?
um, so of those
Okay.
5,000 plus players in this whole pool, and like you said, there are 30 teams, and there are only 30 teams in the NBA. And I believe they only draft 2 rounds.
Yep.
So that is 60 players getting picked. That is 60 players getting picked out of 5,000 plus. So that's already a low percentage. Let alone that, how many of those are good is the other question.
A 5
You know what I'm saying?
maximum
So five out of 60. That
of
is
probably gonna be
112.
yeah.
That is 112 out of the 60 being picked of the 5,000.
Oh, wait, those 60 are also people that play in Europe.
Yeah, right. Also including players that are getting scouted elsewhere outside of the
G League
country.
Ignite.
So yeah,
That's another one. Yep.
when Gilbert Arenas put all of those stats and numbers up, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. To go back to my previous point, what I was why Kentucky made it pretty deep into Kentucky made it pretty deep into the bracket. Mind you, obviously, Kentucky is definitely one of those heavy hitters when it comes to D1 recruiting. You know what their free percentage was?
Nope.
51%.
They don't, yo, like you can't coach these people, dog. What you gonna do? Take my scholarship money? I will leave. I will hop in the transfer portal. There was 700 plus people that hopped in the transfer portal this year for basketball. Why am I practicing free throws? I'm not going to the league. For what? I'll leave. I'm better than anybody that you can get right now. I'm leaving because the NIL money follows you.
True. There were so many games that I watched where my heart was breaking because teams were just not hitting free throw.
Mine wasn't. What did I say about college basketball, man? What did I say about college
Oh,
sports?
I
Yeah,
know what you said about college basketball.
college
It
sports,
ain't
man. This
good, but
shit's
it
not
ain't.
good. It's just entertaining.
I know, but still one of those. Me actually being a fan of the sport. I remember going to the line and they were complimenting him on being an 80% free throw shooter. My man missed 3 in a row. Come on, man. But other thing I would love to point out about the Final Four, we have witnessed history, y'all. This is the first Final Four in 17 years that all of the teams remaining are number one seeds. First time since 2008.
I think Carolina's one of those
Now,
teams.
back in 08, I believe Carolina was one of them. Yeah. Now, that being said, should we go ahead and do our prediction of last round out in San Antonio?
That's where the Final Four is going to be
Yep.
in the Alamo Dome, probably.
How about low key Houston is a home team? Because that's only like a 3.5 hour drive from them.
Mm-hmm.
I hope they win. I hope they win.
Oh, Florida wins, so I can be right. But
anybody but Duke. But since I did Duke versus Houston, man, who you got?
Duke against who?
Houston.
Oh, Houston.
I'm gonna agree. Cooper Flag. Cooper Flag threat.
Oh yeah.
Cooper Flag
Hopefully,
is a
hopefully be on
threat.
the Hornets. If not,
Uh, I forgot his first name. I don't know his last name is Proctor. Proctor is a threat.
Eugene.
However, oh, man, for those that did see the game for Houston winning, Houston plays very, very ferocious defense. And essentially outside of um outside of Cooper Flag, outside of Proctor and what was that one other player's name? Like Knuppel or something like that?
Yep.
There's not a whole lot of things going on for Duke outside of them being able to control pace and then randomly here and there being able to get the O check. Houston plays such ferocious defense. I'm gonna agree with you. I'm gonna go Houston on that game. On the other side, we got all SEC. All SEC. We got Auburn versus Florida, man. Who you got?
Florida.
We might have to take Florida game. For one, congrats to the SEC for setting for best overall record in the tournament. I believe around they had like 12 wins, which is completely insane. Um, I'm guessing since you worked from you did not
Hold on,
see.
hold on, hold on. It's turning to robot again.
Uh, I'm guessing since you were traveling, you did not see
I mean,
the
I didn't see
uh,
anything.
Auburn versus Michigan State is the proof to me that of why Auburn became a number one overall seed, despite winning the SEC tournament. Two players Auburn got hurt, and at no point was Auburn not even comfortable for winning the game. Like at no point were they Janai Broome came out because of an arm injury, and Auburn still maintained a 6 to 7 point lead over Michigan State, over Tom Izzo's Michigan State, which the saying goes, never doubt Tom Izzo in March. Yes, Florida does have the spark, but now they're playing a conference rival that displayed that in an Elite Eight game, and their star player going out. I'm gonna go Auburn.
When is the game? It's
Now,
Thursday,
the
right?
question: hmm?
Wait, is the game on Saturday?
Both games are on Saturday, and then the national championship is on Monday.
Monday. Okay. You know
I
what
was about to
time on
say now.
Saturday?
We can look. I think both are like mid afternoons.
Okay, because no, Charlotte C play at 12 at 2:30. So
While I get this loaded up, so with that being said, I know you said you got Florida winning. If it was Florida and Houston, who you got winning that for the national
Florida.
championship? That is very fair. No, they are both evening games. Florida
That's good.
Auburn at 6 and Houston and Duke at 8 .45.
That is perfect for me. I know what I'll be doing.
As for as voracious as the Houston defense would be, if Houston did get to the national championship, realistically, regardless if Duke or Houston gets to the national championship, what I saw from Auburn,
Hold up. Wait a minute. Wait. You gotta say it again. I don't know
uh,
what's going on.
I was saying, regardless of from the other side of the bracket between Duke or Houston, who gets to the national championship, I would still say Auburn wins it
All right.
from my vote because of what I saw. Yeah, nah, you got it. You good. I think they only lost like 4 games in the season.
Yeah, I think like they were like the overall number one seed, right?
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I got for the college basketball scene, man.
I miss everything else, every single sports game. All the probably since what
Oh, see, there you go. So you missed what I might end up be bringing up for NBA.
probably. Let's go on the NBA. What's cracking with them?
One, as I said, got my boys hats back. With some wins, some points, what I can.
Hold up, wait a minute. Oh, timeout. Say it again.
I say I got the hat back on. Uh, Mavericks back in the playoff race. And
Nope.
looking at
Yo, yeah, I don't know what's going on with the connection, bro. Is that me
oh,
or you?
let me try to just close it. All right, because when all else fails, let's do a factory reset.
All right. What were you saying about the Mavs?
I'm saying we're back in the playoff race, and I believe most teams only have about 6 to 8 games left. So
Yeah.
we actually could end up making the playoffs. We would be a play-in team if we do make it, but gotta support my boys while we do. Uh, the actual two parts for the NBA news that I had. One, for the Phoenix Suns, and why I'm also supporting this. For the Phoenix Suns, Kevin Durant had a very scary injury, and I think he's done. I think he's done for the season. Tried to one of those moves. He tried to make a drive, and his foot stemmed on someone else's foot,
Yep. Shut him
and
down. Shut him down.
rolled his ankle. And I'm talking about terrible roll. Like I'm talking about his ankle was almost at 90 degrees. Um, yeah, shut him down. Like they had to enforce the rule where the
Yep.
opposing coach gets to
Nope.
hmm,
It's still roll Biden.
still um I was saying they had to enforce the rule where the opposing coach gets to pick someone else to shoot the free throw because Kevin Durant could
You
not
could not. Oh
stand.
damn.
Yeah. Um so that's going to be a downfall for Phoenix and like a pretty hefty one. Uh, so that could keep us in playoff race and such, and we'll see what we do at least from the play-in. I don't think we move up much higher than the play-in team. But the Detroit Pistons and Minnesota Timberwolves game.
I saw
It was either
fights, but I don't know what happened. I saw it and I was like, I'm tired.
it was either last night or 2 nights ago, but even still, I think it was 2 nights ago. There was a lot of beef just brewing up. The game was very shitty, but the refs
Yeah,
were allowing them to play.
it's still popping.
Hold on. Let's see. Let's see if it corrects. There was a lot of chippiness here and there, but the refs were still allowing them to play. And then Nas Reed goes up for a layup. Another player comes by, intentionally does a foul. Some mouthing goes off, and Dante DiVincenzo takes matters into his own hands. And that's when the fisticuffs start. Spit the A lot of the ejections come from the fact that, let alone there was a fight, it spilled over into the crowd, so there were fans and or media people also hurt because
Wow.
like they fell on top of people and blah blah blah. So it was 5 players ejected, 2 coaches ejected, and let me see if I can get back to this because this is a funny post because somebody actually was poking fun at one of the Pistons players for basically not ever having a stat line, and he was involved in the fight.
That's why they pay him for fights.
There we go. All right. So it was Isaiah Stewart
Oh, Beef
for the Detroit
Stew.
Pistons.
Yeah, man, he's always looking for something, man.
Oh boy,
That's
I've
why his
seen posts
name
where
is
people
Beef
saying,
Stew.
I've seen posts where people said I haven't seen a basketball highlight where he's actually playing basketball. Hilarious. Isaiah Stewart on that night. 0 points, 0 rebounds, 0 assists, 0 steals, 2 technicals, 6 ninja slapped. I'm just using the word ninjas because I don't want to use what they actually used. 6 ninja slapped, 4 coaches cussed at, and 12 I wish a ninja would. That was his stat line that night.
That's, yeah, yeah. So, I'm saying, that sounds, sounds all right.
Um, Fun thing being, Detroit Pistons are in the playoff race too.
So, Detroit may knock off somebody.
I agree. I actually agree that
Detroit,
they're going to be one of the most fun teams to see.
they play physical and they can score.
When's the last time we've seen a team play this physical?
Detroit. No matter what era, Detroit. Ben Wallace and the Bad Boys, Detroit.
Oh God, that Ben Wallace era. Jesus. He said Detroit. Oh boy. They they're gonna be in the playoff. They're gonna be in the playoff race. They might knock off
Mhm.
somebody.
They may be in the playoff
I
fight too.
don't start no won't be no shit. If you don't give a damn, we don't give a anyway. Uh,
Good old
those are the
Memphis.
main things I wanted to bring up about NBA though. Playoffs should be
Oh my bad.
starting
Also,
in about
one thing about Europe, check this out, man. You're never gonna lose your cap.
huh.
Yes, I know. I was like, this is huh.
Innovation.
I was like, meanwhile, don't know where my cap is. Yeah. Don't worry, people. I cut this water yesterday.
But then lastly, just real quick, the last part of the news that I had has to do with the NFL. Oh, actually, before I move on to that, I should say the reason that Mr. Wade Winston Wilson gave me that shot was because the Mavericks were back in that playoff race.
Hey,
But quick NFL news. There's gonna be some bad blood between the Cincinnati Bengals and Trey Hendrickson.
they're not paying him.
It's gonna be some very interesting conversation going.
So
And
he's about to get traded.
the,
He's about to get traded
the
draft
other
day.
bad thing being for Cincinnati Bengals fans, your defense was already bad. Your defense was already monumentally bad. And if they're thinking about trading him, is like, what purpose is there for basically keeping this offense together if you're just going to allow 40 points a game?
That's the reason why they got to keep the offense together because they can't stop nobody.
That's not a way to build a franchise. You've already seen that with the St. Louis Rams getting beat by the Patriots.
They'll be all right as long as you score these points and make this money. Y'all be okay.
We already saw the impressive Kansas City Chiefs get ultra dominated by both the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and now the Philadelphia Eagles this past Super Bowl. Which, for those that don't remember, Kendrick Lamar traveled more yards than the Kansas City Chiefs. Go ahead and study the stat sheet how you will. Uh, Kendrick Lamar traveled 281 yards, so go ahead and look up how many yards the Chiefs got. That's not a way to build.
But I
My
mean,
heart goes out to Bengals fans.
mine doesn't. Y'all know this team has been the same team since when? Exactly. Forever.
You said has been the same team?
Mm-hmm.
The Marvin Lewis era, which is basically all the 90s and 2000s.
Right. Marvin Lewis era still was not as successful as this Bengals team, and they had to put
No,
up
because they
points.
didn't win a playoff game.
Mm-hmm.
They had no playoff wins in that whole era. Look, as the fan as a fan of the Broncos, that's what I'm saying. I was like, my heart hurts.
Nah, as a Panthers fan,
There's well,
um,
I'm saying there's enough pieces there where you should be successful, and all you have to do is just continue filling in holes and just continue building. There's enough pieces there,
you
and
knew
then you're letting a weapon like Trey Hendrickson walk.
that.
I ain't gonna say walk. You
No,
might be looking at
let him walk, or you trade him to get somebody to get like a first round pick or something, or package something up, whatever. Get an offensive tackle, get Bull Campbell or Mimbu or something, and then rebuild your defense through the draft. So this is, I mean, it's a deep draft for linebackers and safeties and edge rushers, but yeah, would you?
that's gonna be a rebuilding for Cincinnati though.
There is no rebuild for Cincinnati, man. It's over. It was over when you were like, you know what? We paying everybody. This is also the cheapest owner in the league. No, I think the Browns is. Anyway, Ohio is cheap. The whole state.
I'm about to say I was like they have to be like Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. But yeah, for those that are Bengals fans, you may not see Trey Hendrickson on your team next year.
Whoop de doo.
So
Joe Burrow drops
instead of
back another
allowing,
touchdown.
I was about to
Here's,
say, I
here's,
was
here's the
like,
thing.
instead of allowing 40 a game, you're going to allow 45 a game
Yeah,
now.
the defense was so bad you didn't even know who Trey Hendricks was if you didn't watch, like if you didn't like a fan. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, he's so good. Why let him go? Because he trade him. Get some pieces. Because he didn't stop somebody from scoring 50 or 40 or 30. The reason why he was, that defense was so bad, Joe Burrow was almost the MVP.
To piggyback off of Austin's point again, and y'all can go back uh, a few episodes and hear me say this again. Through week 14, the Bengals watched Joe Burrow throw 30 touchdowns with only 4 interceptions, and the Bengals were 5-8.
All that for nothing. Just wasting time. I'm gonna do what they do to Charlotte sports. Free Joe Burrow. Trade him. Yep.
Yep.
I'm gonna start doing that. Every single podcast or anything is like, oh man, Joe needs some help. No, Joe needs to be helped out that city.
Jay, I gotta take that one. I gotta take that one.
Yeah, no,
I
give him
like
some
that.
help. No, help him pack. Help him pack. Help him and Jamar Chase get out of there. Because y'all don't like him. You know why you don't like Joe Burrow, Cincinnati?
And at this point, T. Higgins.
Yeah, nope. That's all T. Higgins.
Well,
He
I'm
got
saying like
he got tagged
I'm
and then he
saying
got
like get as
paid.
much real estate as you can at this point. Like just blow
Look,
it up and start over.
nah, they're not. I mean, well, the thing is like because like they're so close and like they only need a defense and an offensive line. Hmm, that's two big things that you need, but that you just neglected. But hey,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, draft's coming up. You guys are smart.
How funny is it? That you said Ohio is just bad. How funny is it that both Ohio teams always make bad decisions when it comes to the draft?
It's Ohio. It has nothing to do with the team. It's a state. I'm blaming the state now. There's something in the water.
Well, let alone draft. Also, just business and player decisions. Deshaun Watson, 240 million, and you got what, 14 games out of him?
Yep.
Most Cleveland Browns thing ever. Most Cleveland Browns thing ever. How much you bet they draft a quarterback?
Who, the Browns?
Yeah.
Yeah, real talk. If Cam Ward slides to two, would you draft him?
If I'm the Brown,
Mm-hmm.
here you go. If I'm the Browns, if I'm me,
Browns. Okay, if you were the GM for the Browns, would you draft him?
my logic keeps wanting to say no, but knowing them, I would say yes. Like I'll put it like this: the history for the Browns is that bad.
I
They
think
had a
two.
season with 7 different starters. Like think about that. Me logically, no. But then again, what are you also going to get out of Deshaun Watson and whoever else you're going to have as your backup? So they're in a rock and a hard place and still have to pay Mr. Nasty $240 million. So most Cleveland Browns thing ever. And then for the Cincinnati, like we already pointed out, for the Cincinnati Bengals, boy, they couldn't even stop a toddler for picking up candy. So
Yeah. Yep. It's gonna be another 8-9 season um for the Bengals.
to
And
think
Joe
they
and
went
Joe
nine
Burrow's
and
gonna
eight, like,
Joe Burrow's gonna have
did
like
they go
80 sacks.
Yeah, he gonna break the David Carr record.
Yep. Get your bro some help. No, get get him help out the city,
Yeah,
man.
help him get out of there.
Help him get out the city. At this point, it sounds like a choice. Feel like Stockholm syndrome.
Actually, he technically could. He technically could break the David Carr record because they play an extra game compared to back when David Carr played. Because David Carr played back in the 16 game, or they play 17 games now. So he technically could, but yeah, no, I agree. Get him out of there. Get a lot of those pieces out of there. Shop what you can, blow it up, start over. Because there's no reason a 30 touchdown, 4 interception quarterback should be looking at a 5-18.
Uh-huh.
But with that, that's all the notes I got on my side. Again, good luck to those teams that are in the Final Four.
Yeah.
I would have said low key roll tide, but I mean, if they could hit free throws, they could have beat Duke. So yeah, you got any other news?
I got nothing.
I'm about to say you've been traveling, so
Bro, I don't know what time it is. I don't know what time it is. I still gotta pack and be at the airport in about 10 hours.
I'm about to
So,
say in like less than 4 hours.
yep.
I like you too, man.
Yeah. All right, people. We'll catch y'all next week.
I
Wash
know
your
what we say,
hands.
man. Y'all stay fly. Y'all keep on sipping.
Keep on sipping.
Yep. Wash your hands, man. Deuces.
Yeah.